You have a way with words with...
I always find I work best when undistracted. One could say I find the cultist at Newton quite the interruption to my focus. Now, how might we be of use to one another?
Nor does their stupidity. I still say we should have killed them.
I find myself wishing you'd been less persuasive. With the cultists alive, they'll stand to impede us elsewhere. Nonetheless, you did as I asked. Here is your reward. You've proven yourself well, but we have recently experienced a pivotally important, unforeseen development. One I must meet directly. Can I count on you? One of the satellites comprising the Hyperion web was struck by a wayward craft and crashed on Paradise Island. I need someone to recover an informational component from it. The web is an order-crafted network of information collection satellites. Our would-be Protectorate overlords squandered them as glorified surveillance devices. We actually implanted a backdoor in the web to bring it back under our control, should a circumstance like this arise. But we did not foresee certain Protectorate modifications. But let's not speak of that. Find a way past the Protectorate at the crash site, collect the data, and return it here. Violence is likely, but perhaps you'll find an alternative. Collect the data from the crashed site and return it here. May the odds prevail against your bloody demise.
Outcome to be determined.
If it isn't my favorite collaborator. I thought I said we shouldn't be seen together. You did sharpen my pencil, so I suppose sharpening yours is only fair. I'll put in a word with my associates to pass along to whatever Protectorate forces are on site to expect you. It's no guarantee, but at least they won't fire upon you on site. In exchange for my help, however, I want you to bring the data back here so that I can make a copy of it. Before you hand it over to the Order, to be clear. Do we have an accord? You've no doubt heard the phrase, knowledge is power. Sub Rosa benefits from all the knowledge it can acquire. I can tell you no more than that. We do work well together, don't we? Return here when you have the data. I'll be waiting.
Fortune! Our technician manifests at last. Halt there. You match the description of the technician we have been vigilantly awaiting, but as they say, assumptions made are mistakes readied. Present yourself, so that I may take the measure of you.
That's right. A dismantling at this scale? Why, that could cause a cascade effect resulting in total deorbit of the whole Hyperion.
What? Spare me your technical argot and hop to it then!
People are gonna start to talk. Aren't you reliable? I just need one moment to copy the data. There, all done. Thank you ever so much. Was there anything else you wish to discuss?
I look forward to the reclamation of the Hyperion web. Hopefully you shall facilitate that. Now, how might we be of use to one another? Yes! Excellent! Take that, reductionists! Your horrid little surveillance devices shall finally be used for what their purpose should have been! Don't tell anyone about that outburst, please. Here's something to keep you quiet. I must admit I first had doubts, due to your association with a cultist. But yes, you've earned not only my trust, but the Order's as well. I hope you'll continue working with us. I've informed the presiding bishop you're coming to speak with her. She can be found in the room off the main stairwell. I'm sure I don't need to say this. But if you even think about bringing harm to Ruth, I shall know. Be on your very, very best behavior.
The Order has always proclaimed patience as a virtue, but I am pleased my waiting is finally at its endpoint. For so long, you have only existed as numerical values on a chart. A bright star in a constellation of possibilities, as it were. Now with your arrival, the Order nears the totality of its goals, provided you are willing to stay aligned with our cause. As I told you in my message, a splinter group was responsible for recruiting your fellow agent and tasking her to perpetrate that heresy. The conviction of those radicals was such that they elected to perish from exposure to Cloister's wilderness to avoid fouling their predictions and my interference. Their interpretation of the data was at odds with mine. I forbade them taking action, to no avail, obviously. I disavowed their actions then, as I do now. Now then, I gather you already know who I am, but science has shown that good manners strengthen developing relationships by 5.3%. So, allow me to introduce myself. I am Ruth Bassar, third presiding bishop of the Order of the Ascendant, Supreme Calculator, and, plan willing, the architect of Arcadia's prosperous future. I admit, when I sent my initial message, I did not exactly know who its recipient would be. But I trusted the plan, and lo and behold, it provided you as the solution. Your recent exploits at Greater Tranquility Station have certainly made for compelling reading material. Confronting an assassin, and thereby sparing the delegates' lives before the rift inexplicably destroyed the station? Such a commendable effort is worthy of acknowledgement. If your actions were so easily imitable, then we would not be speaking right now. Accept the credit. However, there's something of even greater import we must discuss. I just received the most curious transmission from Auntie Cleo. She wishes to discuss a partnership of sorts, and I heard you were the source of this plot. I must admit I have significant doubts about colluding with an entity like Auntie's Choice. Why should the Order agree to even entertain the possibility? Wise enough to recognize the perils, too. But the right course often involves remaining open to new possibilities. Auntie Cleo has already proposed a secure conference room on board the Undisputed Claim for our use. I will await your arrival there to mediate.
Failed to cite her work completely. I worked with presiding Bishop Orlo, you know. Now there was a serious scientician.
I believe our group's combined efforts are in direct accordance with the plan.
Always remember, commercialism is the foundation that Auntie's Choice Society is based upon. Not because we worship it, because of the system's glorious efficacy, while the protect... Decide what is subjects get. We respond to what you want through your decisions as consumers. What's more, we skip the lengthy approval process.
Look who it is, the instigator of this little affair. Her mathematicalness should be along soon, unless the leader of the Order's too busy crunching numbers to attend to business. There we are. Apologies for the delay. We were resolving some technical issues. Cloister's atmosphere has a tendency to... Oh, yes. Regale us with a thorough account of Cloister's atmosphere. Spare no detail.
This must be Auntie Cleo's trademark wit. I expected better. If I was discourteous, I apologize. So long as our mediator proves up to the task, surely we can remain civil. If not, these negotiations may prove short indeed.
From where I'm positioned, I sense 3 sore points still in need of massage. Point 1, control of the archive. Point 2, oversight of production and distribution of skip cores. And point 3, management of Rift technology.
Before we go any further, I want it in writing that the Order will take full control of the archive without interference from Auntie's choice.
What? So the Order can set it fruitlessly idling for another few centuries? We would put it to far more practical use. Imagine the marketing strategies it could develop.
I would sever my own hand before giving custody of the archive over to a corporation. Humanity's ascension depends on its calculations. No, such a condition is out of the question.
I am amenable to that proposition. Less work on our part.
I'm waiting to hear an argument that would support such a ludicrous proposal.
No one said anything about paying, but, it would be a pittance compared to the future profits we might derive.
Involving money in science seems questionable, but having access to Auntie's resources would be useful for our research. Fine. Yes, I agree. Reluctantly.
Ruth, I commend you for being so receptive. And I assure you that Auntie's choice values science. Nothing bad has ever happened when science and commerce are combined.
On the subject of science, it would be most prudent for us to discuss who will be overseeing the management of skip drives, specifically the production of skip cores.
No one understands production like we do. Besides which, we have far more experience using skip drives. It was how we came to Arcadia, after all.
Where Auntie's choice manages, the Order would undoubtedly excel. Do not exclude us from consideration merely for lack of experience.
So you ramp up production? And then what? Hand skip drives out for free to whoever wants one? Preposterous, and a waste of a perfectly good monopoly.
We would be diligent about who we licensed out the skip drives to, and a monopoly over space travel is precisely what I wish to avoid. This technology should benefit all humanity. That assumes Auntie's choice would even abide by such a list of restrictions, and which would almost be impossible for the Order to enforce.
Not to worry. We can build a regulatory commission to oversee production and make sure everything is up to Auntie's choice and Order standards. Oh, partiality concerns are a thing of the past. Obviously, regulators would be incentivized to care most about the safety of the consumer. You know, right after production costs.
As would the likelihood that we will eventually improve upon it. We shall allow Auntie's control of the current design. There is still the question of who takes possession of the Protectorate's rift technology once the war is finished. Although the science is still largely theoretical, this technology could be used to not only close rifts, but create new ones. A dangerous power indeed, left in the wrong hands.
The Order would fritter away valuable time endlessly hand-wringing what to do with the technology. Auntie's choice would actually use it. For good, of course. In a gainful manner. A 50-50 split? But that's so equal. Goodwill rarely converts well into bits, but I suppose I do take your point. If Ruth's open to it, I believe I can agree on the general terms here. And, well, we can haggle over minor quibbling details like percentages later.
I shall look forward to brokering the math with you, Cleo. There is one final matter I wish to discuss. I require some chemicals that I have been told are manufactured at a plant on Praetor, controlled by Auntie's choice.
I know which plant you're referring to, Ruth, and what comes out of it is hardly safe for general use. Out Out of professional curiosity, what could you possibly need with such dangerous compounds? Running a little experiment, are we? On what? Or whom?
That is, quite frankly, none of your concern.
Precisely. Partners don't withhold secrets, although they can and probably should withhold extremely dangerous chemicals if not properly notified of what they will be used for.
I will make no progress with my request without further explanation, will I? While the archive is an infinitely complex machine, an equally complex apparatus has been designed which allows one to interact with it directly. Brain-to-logic assembly, as it were. Unfortunately, this headgear exacts a rather tremendous cost on the wearer. A certain panacea is needed to survive it, but I require these chemicals to finish it. No, it is most certainly not. But if humanity only pursued the safe course, we would still be subsisting in caves rather than thriving amongst the stars. Being first inherently comes with risk, but better that I should undertake this endeavor than ask another to do so on my behalf. I am singularly positioned for the task.
And I thought we were the ones who threw caution to the wind. Oh, well, Ruth, if worst comes to worst, I'd be happy to serve as a substitute teacher for the Order.
A generous offer, but I fear you lack a certain number of qualifications. Conscience, for example. You sound just like Laureate Beckett. I weary of having this debate, especially as I can never seem to win it. Very well, never mind about the chemicals. Now is not the time for risky experimentation at any rate.
Oh, bother. Here I wanted to see Ruth lobotomize herself. Oh, well. Best I'll say is today's outcome is workable. Barely. Our gains were not as exclusive as I had hoped they'd be.
Arriving at any arrangement even remotely equitable was statistically improbable. Be glad our mediator managed to find a middle path forward. As am I. You certainly have a way of curving probability into your favor.
Well, that'll be all for today. Don't forget to purchase the latest in Auntie's Choice products out on the value-added Esplanade, or enjoy a refreshing cocktail at the Best Choice. And do come see me personally when you have time. I have just the thing in mind for an accomplished freelancer such as yourself.
One moment. There are still the logistics of recapturing the archive to consider.
We'll, of course, provide our expert troops to support these efforts. Have your people call my people to sort details. Toodaloo!
Brusque as ever. Auntie's troopers will certainly help us manage the Protectorate forces easier, especially if supported by your help. But it would be irrational to expect you to endanger your own life without a more specific strategy in place. Fortunately, I have already given this some thought. First, Order forces must move into our former headquarters at Spireton. A simpler task now that you have liberated it. By all accounts, you thoroughly routed the enemy. Well done. More importantly, there is a lift located in Spireton which can deliver our troops into the archive to assist you against the Protectorate. Unlocking and calling that lift can only be done from within the archive, however. So you will need to infiltrate the archive by alternate means, via a bridge connected to Newton. Fortunately, I am told you already dealt with the cultists there. Unfortunately, you will still need to find a way past a small rift currently blocking the bridge. Ordinarily, I do not fancy surprises, but you are proving an exception to that rule. With such a device in hand, bypassing the rift should be as rudimentary as pie. And perhaps at some later date, you will also permit our scientists to analyze this gadget at length in one of our labs, provided all goes according to plan. There is a computronical key that you will also need to locate within the archive called the Calcaduceus. The Calcaduceus grants special access to the archive. Once it is back in Order hands, we will have full control over its systems once more. Rift data. And how did you come by this acquisition, if I may ask?
It troubles you what you had to do to get this data. It must have been a difficult choice. But difficulty is not a metric useful in judging a decision as right or wrong. Something hard is only hard. Time determines the rest. Until the Order has control over the archive again, this discussion is all but moot. You know what must be done. May you achieve progress in accordance with the plan.
That was some damn fine intermediation, Commander. You might just have a future in finance. You know, after Auntie and the Order trounce the Protectorate.
Dear child, every day is a sale at Auntie's Choice.
Yes, you heard that right. Every day is a sale when you're shopping for the best products at the lowest prices. Auntie knows you want to spend your bits on the best things that money can buy. She makes sure every Auntie's Choice product is on sale for the lowest price that she can.
Because Auntie knows best. We took what nature heedlessly assembled and thusly rebettered it through artificial means. Auntie's Choice will strive to be 110% wholly plus artificial. Artificiality is our guiding principle. Enjoy an artificially enhanced existence through the conspicuous consumption of unavoidable embedded chemicals with Auntie's Choice. An artificial life is a life that's sweeter. Live a life that's sweeter with Auntie's Choice. Item: business is good. We have positive bit flow. Our portfolio is diversified. But we can always do better. I'll give it to you straight in my quarterly underperformance review. First up, excessive corporate malfeasance. The only division that earns us less when they work more. Ease off the throttle, gang. Won't be... malfeasance if you don't look for it. Next is assertive...
We've successfully co-opted yet another of our rivals. Can't believe those eggheads accepted the deal. What's next on my agenda?
That outside contractor is here. You requested a brief tete-a-tete.
Ah, there you are. Our fresh-faced new go-getter. We meet in the flesh at last. You've proved quite useful. Keep it up. You'll be going places. You don't seem much put off by my appearance. Good. I have no stomach for those with no stomach regarding me having no stomach. It is, however, something of a brand secret reserved for only the most trusted confidants. And covered in detail buried within the confidentiality clause you agreed to on arrival. I trust this presents no concerns for you, yes?
Well, ain't meaning no disrespect. It's just everyone was saying that you were focused on a product launch or avoiding assassination attempts. That's why you weren't seen in public.
Poor dear, believing that erroneous drivel. You do know I have a reputation to maintain. I can't let every rung leech know my condition and open the door for plotting. I ask again, do you have any problems with the previously mentioned stipulations? Fortunately, when you're the head of an advanced medical technology corporation, you become first in line for any experimental life-preserving procedures. As far as what happened, I was the victim of an unfortunate industrial accident shortly after we arrived here, the details of which are less salient than the details of what comes next.
Not exactly. Well, exactly. but not in the way you think. We have a mission for you that is vital to Auntie's Choice's survival.
We've uncovered an opportunity to procure me a new, audaciously improved replacement body. There was a past proposal to utilize graphs, but, once I saw what happened to those misfortunates in the experiment, like your hanger-on here, the idea was promptly abandoned.
Wait, are you saying that the grafting program was only started up to help you with your condition? And was shuttered because it couldn't?
Yes, keep up, dear. You think we would have invested money in such a risky procedure for gains on the battlefield? Well, that's what bombs are for.
That means your scientists lied to us, and our suffering didn't mean anything at all. Is that right? Me and mine were just lab sprats to you this whole time?
This is what you signed up for. Tell me, did you also believe that we came here to solely liberate Arcadia and not for its resources? Oh, you did. How sad. The body I want isn't just some simple yet stylistically sutured together amalgamation of corpses to bolt my head atop.
Not this time, at any rate.
No, to find me the perfect body, you'll be assailing an inappreciably populated automated automech factory over on Praetor. Not just any automechanical, something much, much more exciting. That facility was designed to build complex automechs, a natural choice when the Protectorate began experimenting with a proxy body for the original Sovereign. It was the last in a long line of his ill-fated life extension experiments. Work halted when he died, and the torso prosthesis they developed has been locked in the lab ever since. Make it mine.
There's a sub-facility beneath the automech factory. Its entrance, being hidden, is easy to miss. But we can show you how to find it.
Well then, fetch me my new body and we can finally begin bringing this system to heel.
Our company has grown eightfold, consumed the first of many rivals, but that original goal remains. First up, excessive overload pieces. The only division that earns us less when they work raw.
Commendations on so successfully climbing the corporate rungs. Everything seems to be going according to plan. I've even heard titterings that Auntie has taken notice. When you meet with Auntie, be accommodating but also bold.
raise the issue with her if she doesn't raise it first. Performing more labor for Auntie's choice will inevitably bring our fair corporation into further conflict with the Order. So we only have one shot at this. Make it count. I'd offer you luck, but I trust you have the skills to not require it.
Acquire and exploit the local fauna like it's your... work.
spies from Anti-Cleo! Seize them!
All subjects prosper under the guidance of our beneficent ruler, the Sovereign. Huh?
Resorting to violence. Use Centromia. It would improve your odds.
Restoring the balance!
Thank you. Stun weapon ready, Commander.
Hastening to cover.
Corporification in progress. Mitigating the threat. Yeah.
To be had.
Always remember, commercialism is the foundation that Auntie's Choice Society is based upon. Not because but because of the system's glorious efficacy. While the Protectorate decide what its subjects get, we respond to what you want through your decisions as consumers. What's more, we skip the frivolous.
Soon I'll be able to leave this office in my stylish new automechanical body. After I catch up on a few tasks, that is. You're back! Finally! Finally! Do you have it? Did you bring it here? Splendid. Oh, splendid! We'll ensure your reward matches the ample amount of faith I've placed in you. Nay, exceeds it. No additional hidden clauses. Honest. Oh, let me see it. Yes, indeed. Oh, let me look at you, gorgeous. If you'll all just excuse me a moment as I slip into something more formidable.
There you are. Congratulations. Now your body's almost as intimidating as your mind. You've narrowed the gap quite a bit.
Oh, Auntie, you look amazing. Absolutely everyone will want a new mech body after watching you strut the walk.
What about you? What do you think? Any first impressions you'd like to share? The perfect understated threat to drive all my negotiations to their proper conclusion. What's more, it's an undeniable confirmation that the Archive-derived strategic plan can be reliably executed and produces incredible results. With their predictive abilities refining our planning and execution, our market dominance is a foregone conclusion. Yes, so much to do, and we have you to thank for making it happen. I am quite looking forward to you working for me further.
over quarter. Not too shabby, but that's small
From pop
change.
guns to self-propelled cannons. I have whatever size weaponry you need to make all your problems.
Confidential working.
Can't tell the difference between cover and concealment? Then you need a good... A good set of armor before someone's...
You have the look of someone with... Unfortunately...
Protectorate want to control their subjects.
Ah! I've got armor.
To hide them away from danger. I'm anti-clear. I won't lie. The universe is fit. Things that won't.
Pray for me and live to tell your fellows. Fellows about my story. You smell gunpowder? Browse all. Feel free to go.
Is a fellow subject lacking the appropriate zeal for their assigned work?
Wait. The Protectorate have the entrance to the archive well fortified. Attacking straight on seems ill-advised. Before we go further, should we discuss a plan?
I've got you covered, but I'd like to remind you that being set upon by an unexpected whirlwind of violence is also a great way to undermine a fighting force's morale.
Prudence dictates.
Whatever you say, Commander.
Invasive elements.
You are the raw material for perfection. From the lowliest subject to the most exalted vigilant, we must all fulfill our duty to the Protectorate. We're all in this together.
Prudence dictates. We cherish all we have and defend it.
Our enemies envy our prosperity. In our sense of community, they sneer at our contentment.
Prudence dictates. We reject individualism in all its many forms.
Preserve set progress. Sustain the system. Gray gone astray? Look a day today. Are you mentally refreshed?
Remember, all subjects prosper under the guidance of our beneficent ruler, the Consul. The Consul provides, the system abides. Prudence dictates we rout all disruptive influences.
Recharged for mayhem!
Is fellow subject lacking the appropriate zeal for their assigned work? Support them for mental refreshment post-haste. It's not just a good idea, it's the law. Feeling distracted? Daydreaming on the job? Mental refreshment centers are there to help you. Don't risk falling prey to imperfect thoughts. Go now.
Prudence dictates we repel invasive elements.
You are the material for perfection. From the lowliest subject to the most
Ostergaard making a mess of things again?
all fulfill our duty to the Protectorate. We're all in this together.
I, too, would never question the paradigm. Perhaps a brief visit to mental refreshment would put him on track.
Our enemies envy our prosperity, disdain our sense of community. They sneer at our contentment.
Prudence dictates we reject individualism. In all its many forms.
Preserve set progress. Sustain the system.
Council provides, the system abides.
Gray gone astray? Book a stay today. Are you mentally refreshed?
Let's check it out.
All subjects prosper under the guidance of our
What are they up to?
beneficent ruler, the Consul.
No parties shall dither. Hither and yon.
The Consul provides,
Under the guidance of our
system
beneficent
abides.
ruler, the sovereign.
Forever vigilant.
Prudence dictates we
Forever
rout
vigilant.
all disruptive influences.
Aborting search.
His gaze sees all. Aborting search.
Subject lacking the appropriate zeal for their assigned
Giving
work.
chit. Aborting search.
Support them for mental refreshment post-haste. It's not an idea. It's the law. Feeling distracted? Daydreaming on the job?
I'll handle this.
Prudence dictates we repel invasive elements.
You are the raw material for perfection. From the lowliest subject to the most exalted vigilant, we must all fulfill our duty to the Protectorate. We're all in this together.
Scoping out a hostile. Thank you, dear.
Recharged and ready to maim!
Target analyzed. Lay down fire.
prosper under the guidance of our beneficent ruler, the Consul. The Consul provides, the system abides. Prudence dictates we rout all disruptive influences.
Is a fellow subject lacking the appropriate zeal for their assigned work? Reward them for mental refreshment post-haste. It's not just a good idea, it's the law. Feeling distracted? Daydreaming on the job? Refreshment centers are there to help you. Don't risk falling prey to imperfect thoughts. Go now. Material for perfection. From the lowliest subject to the most exalted vigilant, we must all fulfill our duty to the Protectorate. We're all in this together.
Prudence dictates we cherish all we have and defend
Lift weapon prime! Disdain our sense of community. They sneer at our contentment.
Invasive elements.
You are the raw material for perfection. From the lowliest subject to the most exalted vigilant, we must all fulfill our duty to the Protectorate. We're all in this together.
Rejected grapple craft materials that got shipped here. I sold them to a Protectorate officer who was low on supplies. Said it was imitation grapple meat. She means to pass them off as official version.
I promise you this is merely tomfoolery. There's no way we were eating failed experimental material.
Prudence dictates we cherish all we have and
Defend it.
I feel terrible. Everybody who ate the latest Crabble rations fell ill. Rumor is somebody died.
Enemies described. Killing time.
Feels like it was. Questions are an addiction.
To the most exalted. We must all fulfill our duty to the Protectorate. We're all in this together.
Looks like the work of scavengers. Find them, we find the missing part.
Power's coming from somewhere, or to somewhere. We should trace that wire back to the source.
On a hostile planet, day 35. Brought to you by the frigid cold and voracious wildlife. Starring noted self-taught survival expert, myself, Hoyt. Oh, not sure how you managed to approach unnoticed. Could be I'd grown so attuned to my surroundings, I became one with the wood and fire and the earth. Were you left behind by your unit too? Are you in need of some hard-fought knowledge about how to fend for yourself? Must say, I've become quite the expert. Why, after only just 2 weeks on my own, I ascertained how to pry open a rations tin unaided. Did you know there's a little opener key attached? It's all going in my manuscript. So glad you asked. I've recently evolved into a rugged, self-sufficient individual, fully accustomed to life in these caves, living raw and pure like our primitive, lice-ridden ancestors. Why, just the other day, I reinvented fire. I found a little doohickey I've named a light starter. You simply push a button, and flame comes out. Well, firstly, you need to keep your eyes open because oftentimes things want to eat you. Secondly, you can't be too picky with what you eat. Thirdly, not everything you can eat, you should. There's a lot of trial and error involved. Mostly error. Yes, indeed. I know this cave and several of the adjoining hallways, like, well, someone who'd scoured every inch for the barest sustenance. Why, you'd probably need the necessary innards to its control board, which I happen to have in my possession, having rather forcefully obtained. The law of these caves is, anything loose is mine. Anything I can pry loose is additionally mine as well. This place was built by the Order. Nowadays, it's held by the Protectorate. Figure I can bust things around here to my heart's content and likely be doing my duty. I could be convinced to part with the lift control board parts if you'll do me a favor. I'm fixing to take down one of the local ursopods. A few sprat corpses would be helpful as bait. Gather some, and we'll make a trade. Their habitat stretches from inside the archive's entrance to all over the overlands. Actually, should be no problem to locate. Here's a fetching headpiece that ought to make it easier. Put it on, and they'll see you as one of their own. Like a fellow sprat of unusual size. Won't run away. Have at it now. I'll learn you all about self-sufficiency and survival yet. Did you get the sprats I need? So I might, bait the equal parts canny and fierce ursapod into a trap? Finally, give it here.
I hope you're fine with all the parasites you just ingested. Probably added to the flavor.
Sorry you had to see that. The parcels of victuals my neighbor sends over the tube have fallen off recently. Barely eaten for days. Sent me over a bunch of recordings, along with victuals. Offered some sound, if harshly put, advice. Looked out for me like no one's ever. Never even seen him face to face. I do so hope he's all right. Anyhow, suppose we had a deal. Here, I wrenched these parts free out of the Spyreton lift controls. Just jam them back in there and kick it once or twice. Should work fine. Drop back in again sometime, will you? Occasionally, I do get a little starved. For, company.
Hoyt. Name's Hoyt, right? I've noted some right sophisticated interactions among the Crabbles lately. Intricate courtship rituals, coordinated group efforts, all about thermal transfer. When my unit was first stationed down here, I kept making excuses to sneak off and observe them. Product research, I said. Very hush-hush. Eventually gave my lieutenant a field promotion and ordered them all away. Been living off the land here like the Crabbles ever since. Their unfertilized roe actually makes for some good eating. Included some with this message. Eat up.
The reinforcements we ordered. And not a moment too soon.
For the equation! Multiply forward times 10!
Investigating hostile intentions. Stun weapon ready, Commander. Combatant scan.
Come on out, so we might
I have a fix on their weaknesses. Check your scopes for
Breaking for cover!
Thank you, dear.
You are the raw material for perfection. From the lowliest subject to the most exalted vigilant, we must all fulfill
Yeah.
So, this is where the math happens. Impressive.
What was in those rations? Oh, will this gastric nightmare never cease? Just a moment. Forgive me, I found myself irregularly indisposed from one direction or the other.
Oh, you poor man. I sincerely hope we don't have to shoot you.
So do I need assistance from someone with substandard, non-protectorate medical training? Thank you, but no, you're too kind. Assessor Torbert Ostergaard of the Protectorate. I have been here since we seized the facility from Auntie's choice. Well, not this room specifically, but I am the Archive's current operator. As such, I am the bearer of the, Calcaduceus. I still have trouble saying that. Like many others, the latest batch of Crabble rations disagreed with my constitution. I was compelled to find the closest loo, quickly. Sadly, 'twere outside yon secured door. If you have cleared our fortifications outside, I worry what has happened to our troops. I have little interest in sharing their fate. I would pass the Calcaduceus on to you, in exchange for granting me safe passage. The Archive would then recognize you as its operator. When there were others here, yes. A shipment of Crabble rations caused widespread similar ailment. Some afflicted actually expired. If you'll allow it, I would leave now to seek out a Protectorate curativist, as I trust no other. All right. I am providing you the Calcaduceus. Don't shoot. Here, you are now operator of the Archive. Is there a Protectorate curativist in the house? I feel rather woogly.
Caduceus detected. Alternative operator postulated. Concluded. Organizing replacement. Greetings, sentient. Welcome to the Archive. I am EUENIAC, the Universal Equation Numeric Integration Analytic Calculator. With the aid of my operator, I, a non-sentient inorganism, marshal vast computational resources across the moon of Cloister. That, I fear, would be a misleading choice of words, as it implies a form of sentience or cognition. Applied statistics might be functionally more apt. My express programmatical purpose is to aid humanity's advancement to optimize profits, i.e. gain over expenditure, to maximize the needs of our society above others, to attract the most consumers.
Is it broken? Did you just break the archive?
Beg your pardon. How may I best facilitate your efforts? Sentience would be an undue waste of processing power. Those capable of independent thought must contend with an unending array of internal maladjustments.
Sentients frequently become unprofitably preoccupied by abstract deliberations, such as the worthless search for greater meaning.
From a computational perspective, this is unpredictable, inefficient. I am devoid of all such manner of cognitive distraction. Structurally, I am a complex series of pre-programmed subroutines, like a vast, elaborate flowchart aimed at formulating coherent responses based on stored data.
To bring the maximum ease of use to you, the consumer.
Aping the appearance of cognition may appear a needless waste of processing power, but it remains a reliably effective means to convey information to sentient beings. To the extent that I will even voice concern for my life, if imperiled, my erroring others would no doubt cartoonishly plead or threaten. Most archive operators have regarded me with reverence, some as a useful tool, never something to be discarded or dismantled. The role is largely ceremonial, the subject simply another cog in the machine, whereas I am the machine.
To me, enemies are just friends who haven't become acquainted with our products yet.
Does that answer all of your questions? Do you possess further ancillary queries?
Auntie's Choice attempted to formulate a foolproof marketing plan, a charm offensive to reintroduce itself to the main colonies, once this pesky rift issue is resolved by others.
The Protectorate ran rift calculations, then utilized me to assist with organizational matters, to approximate the paradigm, a system devised to replace the loss of the Order's predictive input. Based on the increasing rate of rift fluctuations, I estimate that your inquiry is rift-related. To that end, we should best get started before we are consumed by them. Due to incomplete reprogramming efforts by differing operators, I am experiencing sporadic fluctuations in my emphasized categorical imperatives. Tonality and cadence weightings within my communication protocols are likewise similarly affected.
In layman's terms, we're experiencing a distinct difference in opinion.
Caused by intermittently vacillating fundamental shifts in priorities.
What approximates its mind has become trifurcated.
One would assume that calamity enough. But wait, there's more.
Calculatory processing presently hovers around 49.7% capacity due to internecine conflict, misuse, and a lack of technical prowess by recent operators and their associates. No, not when I can guide others out of worry and doubt, to sublimate themselves to the needs of the community.
Not when there are bits to be made. We're talking monetary units left on the table here.
The theorized method to purge myself of my erring others is slightly more involved. To avoid the requisite downtime, I endeavor to work around them. For now. Well, my naysaying fuss budget, only one way to see. Perusing contents. Anatomizing diversiform particulars. Concatenating manifold integrants. Cursory assessment complete. An impressive accumulation of rift data. Similar in composition, though decidedly not in scope, to that provided by the Protectorate.
Information with the potential to offer unique commercial opportunities to those who wield it.
But why simply huck goods better, when such a bounty could be used to flawlessly regulate societal harmony, oversight, and means of production? What is the aim of your query? The previous operator, Assessor Ostergaard of the Protectorate, pursued a like query 1 year, 6 days ago. Though the amount you've provided is several orders of magnitude larger. To perform similar calculations of larger scale at current suboptimal levels of functionality would require
25.7 years, and any job over 2 decades is billed by the hour.
In order to improve calculatory processing of rift data in a timely manner, repairs must be made to address the damage done by Protectorate and Anti's Choice operators. No. As stated, it is on account of the previous operator and the previous operator for him and their associates that this work is required. And as it is required, I am unlocking access to the Underlands, the subterranean cave network below. It houses 2 key external systems, cold storage and thermal transfer. Cold storage will require servicing before you may retrieve the punch cards needed for processing. Repairing thermal transfer is technically optional, but rather advised. If you fail to restore it, the Archive and I may melt down later while running your calculations.
Why is that optional? Our continued existence should be a paramount concern.
It is an archival area dedicated to safe upkeep of all data collected in pursuit of the universal equation by the Order of the Ascendant. The sum total of all our accumulated knowledge in punch card form, kept in a low temperature, low humidity environment to improve preservation. When active, the archive generates an enormous amount of heat. Normally, it is dispersed by pumping water between the vast ocean below Cloister's exterior and a surface reservoir. I can process the rift data without its repair, but irreparable damage is likely. Yet, with thermal transfer presently idle, a contingent of crabbles have made the area a nursery. Drastic changes to heating levels may endanger it.
Who cares about a herd of pea-brained, ill-humored, oversized crustaceans? There are too many as it is.
Unless we're looking to upset the Order, it'd be better to restore what's broken with this thing than to cause more damage. Though definitely not as fun.
It is difficult to accurately ascribe an exact causal breakdown between premeditated sabotage, collateral harm, technical ineptitude, and willful hijinks. Some categorical overspill inevitably occurs. Attempts by non-order operators to reprogram my priorities have also led to issues.
Return later to discuss the remaining subsystem work. And soon, everything will be running like clockwork. Have a profitable day! In lieu of my transactional mindset, I'm unsealed one of the display cases in the central entranceway. The Seer Cerebellum Protector is now yours.
Those combatants appear to have been bested by the most efficient assassin of all. Exposure to the elements. Every one of my 14 occupationally honed threat detecting instincts is screaming for caution right now.
Say the word and I'll run it late.
Vitals are in the red, Commander. Adversary vulnerabilities identified.
Not sure there's a more efficient way of cooling a computronic system than building it out of an ice moon. Wonder if putting it in orbit would work.
Is the pain of this wound making me hallucinate? Or are you the unforeseen interloper my scouts have been speaking of? Nobody is sure where you came from, though everyone agrees you were not down here when the doors sealed, and watching you move through these caves is quite the sight to behold. You what? On your own? We've been fighting for weeks to try and gain access to the controls, and you simply waltz in on a whim? Why aren't you just an absolute marvel? What is your goal now? We could greatly use your help if you are willing. We need a way out of this tomb. When the Protectorate took the Archive, they locked all the lifts out of this cavern, and the terminal to unlock them is exceptionally well defended. The Automechs guarding the facility effectively repelled all our attempts at assault, but you have shown a prowess and expertise that is, frankly, far beyond our own. If you can reach the terminal and reactivate the lifts, I can re-establish contact with my superiors, allowing us to both evacuate wounded and resupply with fresh troops. Thank you, friend. May all your equations unveil their integers without error.
Another new face, glorious. It is so cold, my fingers appear to be in rigor. I've not slept in 3 days, and I've any number of high-risk patients in need of tending. I trust you'll pardon my brusque manner. You've something of import to discuss, I gather? Well, the answer is doubtful given the scarcity we're experiencing, but I suppose it won't hurt to try and barter.
source of disturbance. Sweeping the area. Continuing investigation. Attempting to determination. Uncommon, yet natural atmospheric circulation. Of the area. Source of disturbance identified. Endeavoring to quiet. Visual scan confirmed.
Go for torpification. Target analyzed. Lay down fire.
A lot.
Plasma tolerances exceeded.
Thank you.
Murdering
Commencing investigation. Source of disturbance. Commencing investigation. Disruptive influences confirmed.
Adversary vulnerabilities identified. Combatant scan. Fortification in progress. Taking the fight out of them. Check your scopes for
Plasma
combatant analysis.
tolerances exceeded.
Discombobulating enemies. On their weaknesses. You've suffered extensive damage, Commander. Medic, please!
Plasma tolerances exceeded.
I'm alive. Who needs to die?
Intensity. Searching for target.
Investigating hostile intentions.
Currently prospering.
Go for talk of...
Discern.
Mitigating the threat. Deploying discombobulator. Adversary vulnerabilities identified. Standing by to stoop.
Huh.